भाइयों और बहनों, द बाप WP शो।
Hey, I'm Saurabh. I'm the host of the BaapWP show, where we speak to some desi WordPressers about work, life, and of course WordPress. Today we have with us Umesh Kumar, who's a code wrangler at WPMU Dev. WPMU Dev is one of the largest WordPress organizations out there. And today we'll find out how working remotely works and how Umesh copes with it to achieve a healthy work and life balance. So without further ado, let's meet Umesh. Hey Umesh, welcome to the BaapWP show.
Hey, Saurabh.
Okay, so this is the inaugural episode. You are our first ever guest, as in of this show, and so how does that make you feel?
It's
The
it's my
first ever guest.
it's like my first interview, so kind of bit nervous. I would say not really nervous, but it's like I'm good.
Cool. So let's start with. So I just saw. I got notification from LinkedIn the other day that you just completed your third work anniversary at WPMU Dev. And how does that feel? Like you have been working remotely for 3 years, working on some products at WPMU. What are the products that you're working on?
Yeah, I recently completed 3 years in May. I've been working mostly on Smush. It's a image optimization plugin, and apart from that, there are a few other plugins like Pro Sites and other major products. So that's all.
Smush the plugin that recently won the knockout challenge on TalkMag?
Yeah, we won the 2017 Top Madness Award.
So you're the guy who builds a plugin. You're at least one of the guys who builds a plugin.
Yeah, I take care mostly of the plugin and the API part for the Splash.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Great. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, back to the other question. So how do you find remote working? Like, because I know we work together and we used to work in a physical office with other people. How's that different from remote working?
It's been fairly easier as compared to my first day job. Like, first of all, I don't have to commute to work, and then work hours are totally flexible. The leaves are flexible. It's like I don't have to worry about a lot of things. So I would say it's quite comfortable.
So when I speak to some other people, and I've also worked remotely in the past, uh, people find a little difficult to, there's so much flexibility and so much freedom. People find a little difficult to find focus or find concentration because कोई होता नहीं बोलने के लिए अरे ये हुआ कि नहीं. Or does that happen with you?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's a totally different story. So basically, I do miss, like, if I had an office, like I would be able to put in more hours. It's quite difficult to manage the work hours when you're working from home and there's no one to tell you like you gotta work, you gotta finish this in time. It's all upon you. So yeah, it is difficult. But then, like,
So what do
since
you,
yeah,
sorry, go on.
yeah, but it's like you get to adjust when, like, in a time frame.
So when you started 3 years ago, and compared to that time, because you were new to remote working, and I'm asking this specifically because a lot of people who would be watching this video would be people who would be considering switching to a remote job, maybe. So how different was it in the beginning, and what do you feel has changed the last 3 years? What do you think has improved in terms of the challenges that you face working remotely?
So basically, initially, I guess it's most of the things I say, like the work hours, the workload, and everything. It's just I've, like, got more disciplined about, like, I gotta finish few hours, dedicated hours of work. So,
Okay.
like, yeah, um,
Okay.
and there's nothing more that has changed. It's
Okay.
almost
And
opposite.
how's working with WPMU Dev like? Like if any of our viewers wanted to, because I can see there are job openings there. So what would you say to people who looking to apply to WPMU Dev?
Totally go ahead with it. So I haven't faced any like much of difficulty working over here. So yeah, I haven't faced like any kind of difficulties working over here. WPMU is quite flexible, and the pay scale is quite good as well. So
Okay.
yeah, if you're looking to work over here, go for it.
Okay. Now, one question that people are generally curious about when you work remotely for an organization that is not in India, like you said, the pay is very good.
Yeah.
So, what do you do with all that pay? Like, do you spend it on frivolous stuff? Have you bought like gaming consoles and things like that?
The more you get, uh, more things you'll get to spend on. Like things get keeping add on to the your expenses and all. You'll switch to a better working place or living place. You'll spend on a lot of other things, traveling or family or buying things you like. So yeah, spending money is not the big deal.
So, what's the most expensive thing or your prized possession that you've bought after starting to work remotely?
The moment I started, I bought my MacBook Pro. That was the costliest thing I have bought so far.
Oh, I saw you bought a bike. This is more expensive than your bike,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. So it's almost double the price of my bike.
Oh, so you could have bought two bikes instead. You bought one computer.
But yeah, that's made me buy the bike as well. Like I was able to buy the bike because of this computer itself.
Okay. So how is it working? So like MUDev, WPMUDev is a distributed company that employs all over the world. So you get to work with people from different countries, different nationalities. In fact, I was going through your Facebook feed and I saw that you were recently on a trip with your colleagues from India's neighborhood. How does that work? Like, do you face any problems communicating with people outside India? Are they friendly to you? Do you face any sort of problems in
Uh,
any form?
my colleagues over here are quite friendly, like my support team, all the developers, or even James. So all of them are quite friendly. It's easier to talk to them. Like no one is there's nothing kind of politics or any sort of thing in there. So about the traveling, so like I work 5 days a week. So rest 2 days I keep free for myself. So traveling on Saturday, Sunday is like quite easier. I can easily join the work on Monday, even if I wake up a bit late. So that's not a problem. Also, recently, we like WPMU Dev started giving paid time off. So we get 160 hours of videos of like we had a whole month leave. So that's a big deal.
So basically, you take an off, you go on a leave, and you still get paid. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah.
How is that possible, man? That doesn't happen. You're lying.
So yeah,
नहीं
like
होता है भाई. Like, I have,
like it's just like started last year, so it was a quite happy moment for us. Like yeah. So,
okay. Now, another thing I wanted to ask, in fact, there were two things we were going to discuss. One was how working remotely has been. So let's just wanted to wrap that up. Like if somebody, for example, you also started from a regular job. So somebody who's switching from a full-time job at a physical location, you go to an office every day, and then suddenly you switch to a remote job. I know personally that there are a lot of problems there. So is there any advice you would like to give to people who are considering that change or who have just shifted? Is there
so
anything that they should look out for?
So yeah, like I was quite worried when I was switching to the remote job because in my case there was no contract or there was no nothing at all. And in India we are not habitual to this. Like we generally look out for contracts and like job security and all. So yeah, I was worried before joining WPMP. But then it has worked out so far like quite good for 3 years. So that's totally okay. About the working.
And what was your friends and family's reaction?
Yeah,
Because I
that's
know this, like,
the
it's not.
that's the reason I
Sorry.
had joined. So like my family, like my uncle told me, yeah, like go ahead. It's so yeah, family and friends. So basically, I wasn't able to take the decision, so I had to, of course, go to my friends and family. Like, how should I go about it? Because it is a huge family and friends. So yeah, my friends and like my uncle helped me decide like go ahead for it because it was the start of my career. So if anything went wrong, I could have like started again. It's just 1 year since I was working, so that's how they helped and like they totally supported me to go ahead with this.
So if somebody's family says, "Ki, what company is this? What kind of job is this? घर पे बैठ के काम करोगे? How is that going to work?" So if and they're like, "Okay, join a company like TCS or Infosys," what advice would you give those people? How should they convince their family?
Like it happens all the time. Like your relatives would say, "Yeah, you're sitting at home doing nothing." Even like when I visit my home nowadays,
Hmm.
so my mom would just tell me to go get buy this thing, buy that thing, go get this thing. Like working from home is like they think you can work anytime because it's like you can work from home. So that's the thing. So that's why I prefer to stay over here in Pune and not home because
Okay.
yeah, yeah like maintaining the work hours is a tough task.
Now I've seen, like, I've noticed this with myself. I've seen other people also. When they start a remote job, a lot of them forget the separation between work and regular life. Like they don't get out of the house, they don't go anywhere. So, work from home is supposed to be more relaxed, but they get very tense. They're like all the time on their computers. Whereas I've seen that you, on the other hand, have had a lot of things to do. Uh, so how do you work that out? How do you does that happen to you? Does that happen to you that you forget कि अच्छा दूसरा life भी है? You have a regular life, and you perpetually stuck on your screen. Does that happen to you even now?
Yeah, it does, and like it gets quite boring for me, or like if I'm staying at the same place for long.
Okay.
So I have to move out. Like I have to go out so that I can work because otherwise I can't stay put at same place for more than 2 hours. So I keep changing my desk or this thing or like yeah, it's like really necessary that you put in a fixed number of hours or you keep a fixed schedule and then
Mhm.
divide your time in other activities.
So within the house, you change positions. Like today this room.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you
So,
also we also explore places out of the house? Do you go to cafes and other places to work?
yeah, I do like a few places, a cafe around me provides the Wi-Fi and all, like Starbucks and a few other places. So yeah, a few times I do go out to work from there, but not all the days. Again, it
Okay.
gets boring.
So, so all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. What do you do for play? You
Uh,
can't be.
yeah, like so there's no office now unless you are working from a separate shared office or some place.
Hmm,
So you are staying 24 by 7.
hmm,
You're at your home. It's your office. It's your like work. It's just everything.
okay.
So to cope with that, I started going out on trekking and on the weekends. So I like tried that I didn't stay home on Saturday and Sunday whenever I get time off.
So, how's trekking? Like, it's very physically strenuous. A lot of people are scared of climbing mountains. What if you fall and all?
Yeah. So it's like up to you. You can definitely go for other activities. It's all depends on your interest. But trekking nearby in Pune and Maharashtra, it's quite simple. So nothing to worry about.
So, do you go with
I
a
go, yeah.
specific
I
group? You
go
go with
out with
friends?
I go out with Backpack Outdoors. So it's like a small group of trackers who generally have activities on every weekend. It might be camping, it might be trekking, paragliding, like a lot of sort of adventure activities and all. So like they are quite friendly.
Backpack outdoors part.
So I go out with Backpack Outdoors. I started going out with them like 2 years back, so they're quite friendly guys. There are a group, bunch of few people who have been running this for like 5 to 6 years now. So yeah, like they're quite friendly and also, and they organize a lot of different adventure activities. So you could opt for anyone. It includes rafting, trekking, camping, and then paragliding, and a lot of other activities.
So do you just go as a passive member or do you have an active role there since you've been doing this for a couple of years now?
Yeah, initially I was
Do
just
you?
a normal, regular guy, but then after a few treks, I started volunteering with them. So yeah, like uh, right now, all my most of my treks are free because I volunteer with them. So yeah, it covers.
That's the advantage.
That's it. And yeah, I get to boss around. Yeah, you don't have to go there. You don't have to go there.
So you go on these treks and weekend activities for fun. You work at WPMU Dev for money and for job satisfaction. What
Yeah,
do you do for? I mean, I understand trekking is also exercise. Do you also have a regular exercise routine? Because I heard
yeah, I
somebody say that it's
this.
important. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you do? Do you have a regular exercise routine? Do you go to a gym or work out or something like that?
Yeah, I recently joined a gym. So like I spend 2 hours of my day at that in working out. It definitely is a good thing. Like not exactly gym. It might be you walk, go out and walk in a park, or like just get out of the home. That's the main thing. That's the important thing. So and since you can't do it on your own, I had to join some sort of course, and for me that's the gym. So yeah, and if I miss it any day, I feel like going out. Like it's the main part of my day nowadays.
Okay. And how does working remotely help in like because I know if you go to an office you meet like a lot of people every day and you make a lot of friends and you have like a social circle or a community around you. So how does that get affected when you start working remotely?
Uh, like
Does that change?
yeah, definitely. You'd be with a fixed number of friends, and
Okay.
yeah, like the people you know already will be the only list of people you know, unless you join some sort of activity, some sort of group or course, or like you gotta do something about that. Otherwise, you'll be seeing the. Thankfully, I stay with 3 or 4 friends, so at least I get to see the 4 faces daily. So unless you're staying alone, like it would be more difficult. So yeah, and trekking, of course, then help me to meet few new people every time I go. So you get to interact with them and make new people, add new people in your group.
And how about the local meetups and word camps and stuff like that? Do you?
I totally forgot about that. So yeah, like word camps and meetups become more than important for you. Like in office, even you would skip them, but that would be okay. But now, since you are not meeting any new people around you, the meetups and WordCamp help you like really well.
So what you're saying is basically that yeah, you need to as a remote worker, you need to have fixed hours and decide on those hours and make sure that you put in those hours. You're also saying asking people to find an activity that they find interesting. In your case, it was trekking. Somebody else might have somebody else. It's very necessary to get out of the house. Necessary to have like a regular exercise routine. Uh, and it also helps to expand your social circles because remote working can get very lonely.
Yeah,
Uh, So if somebody is looking to switch into a remote job from a regular job, these are things they should keep in mind.
self discipline is the like biggest challenge for you if you're working remote.
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot, Umesh. Thank you for your the knowledge that you shared with our viewers, and best of luck for your career, and best of luck for your time at WPMU Dev. I hope you get more paid vacations, and I hope you go for more treks. And thanks a lot again. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Saurabh. See you.
So that was Umesh Kumar from WPMU Dev talking about remote working and work-life balance. All the references the conversation are linked below in the description. I hope that gave you an insight into the world of remote working. Next week, join me as I speak to Abhishek Deshpande of Pinac Solutions, who's also the lead organizer of the first ever WordCamp Nagpur on the 25th of June next month. We'll try and get a sneak peek into what's in store for the participants and how different or similar this will be compared to other WordCamps we've seen so far. Till then, see you. Goodbye.
BaapWP Show.